These stories were created by an AI to bring you chills and thrills. If you notice any mistakes or odd phrasing, I sincerely apologize. Sit back, enjoy the eerie atmosphere, and remember, sometimes the scariest things are closer than you think. Lena had always adored Whiskers. For 12 years, he'd been nothing more than a lazy grey shadow, content to sprawl across sunbeams and yowl for tuna at 3 a.m. But that changed the night she caught him staring at the ceiling with unblinking, glassy eyes that tracked something she couldn't see. At first she laughed. "Silly cat," she murmured, scratching the spot between his ears that made him purr. But Whiskers didn't purr. He didn't even blink. His pupils were dilated. Black, his body rigid as stone, his head tilted at an unnatural angle, as if something were hovering just beyond the light. Then the whispers started, not the usual creaks of an old house. These were wet, clicking sounds, like a tongue dragging across teeth too sharp to be human. They came from the corners of her bedroom, from the space beneath her bed, from the mirror she'd covered with a sheet after noticing Whiskers hissing at his own reflection. She told herself it was the wind. Then she told herself she was imagining things. But the night she woke, to cold breath on her neck, she couldn't lie anymore. Whiskers sat on her chest, his paws pressing into her collarbone hard enough to bruise. His emerald eyes glowed in the dark, fixed on something behind her. She couldn't move, couldn't scream, could only watch as the shadows above her bed twisted, as something long-limbed and jagged peeled itself off the ceiling, its mouth splitting, open in a grin of needle-thin teeth. The last thing she saw before the darkness swallowed her whole was Whiskers, still watching. When morning came, the cat was gone. But Lena didn't search for him. She didn't dare. Because now, when she looked in the mirror, her own eyes glowed back at her. And from the darkness of the hallway, something whispered her name, in Whiskers' voice. The cat looked half dead when Mark found it. Its fur was patchy, ribs jutting through paper-thin skin, its yellow eyes sunken, but terribly, unnaturally bright. It didn't meow. It just stared, its gaze locking onto his with a hunger that made his stomach clench. He shouldn't have brought it inside, but he did. At first it ate like any starving animal, gulping down kibble, licking the bowl clean. Then it started demanding more. Raw meat from the fridge. The neighbor's terrier, Mark, told himself it had just run away. The stray's belly swelled, but not with fat. Its body lengthened, its spine curving like a question mark, its paws splitting into too many knuckled toes. Its purr became a wet, gurgling sound, like something drowning in its own throat. Mark stopped sleeping. The cat didn't. It would perch, at the foot of his bed, its new too long limbs folded like a spider's, its jaw unhinging slowly in the dark. "Moo," it croaked one night, its voice not a cat's voice at all. The next morning, Mark's fridge was empty. The neighbors complained about scratching at their doors. Then the screams started. Then the silence. When the police broke into Mark's apartment, they found no body, just shredded clothes and a fat, contented cat licking its paws beside a pile of gnawed bones. As the officer reached down to pet it, the cat's yellow eyes rolled back, revealing a second set beneath, and it smiled. Emily's cat Muffin had always loved mirrors. He'd bat at his reflection, chirping at the other cat trapped behind the glass. She thought it was adorable until the day his reflection stopped copying him. It happened while she was brushing her teeth. Muffin sat before the bathroom mirror, tail flicking, while his reflection stayed perfectly still, not frozen, watching. Emily dropped her toothbrush. The reflection's eyes followed it down, then slid back up to her face. She threw a towel over the mirror. That night, she woke to the sound of claws on glass. The towel lay in tatters on the floor. The mirror was empty. No Muffin, no reflection, just an impossibly black void where the glass should be. Muffin refused to enter her room after that. He'd hiss at the doorway, his fur standing on end, his pupils blown wide with terror. Emily told herself it was just a trick of the light. Then she felt it. Icy fingers brushing her neck, the stench of something rotting wafting from the mirror. She spun around. Nothing there. But in the mirror, her reflection smiled back at her, mouth stretching too wide, teeth too sharp, eyes full, of something that wasn't human. The last thing Emily heard before the glass shattered was Muffin's shriek of warning, cut off abruptly as the thing in the mirror stepped out.